Navigating the world of used trucks can be risky. We've all heard the horror stories of purchasing pre-owned vehicles going terribly wrong. But what if you could get a used truck with the reliability of a new one? That's where DAF Premium Select, incorporated in Babcock's used trucks division, comes in. To tell us more about this game changer, we are joined by Elliot Twani. If you're on the fence about investing in your next truck, stay tuned. Elliot, thanks so much for making the time to join us and give us a little bit more information about the DAF Premium Select range. Just to kick things off, DAF has a strong reputation for reliability and trucks that last a lifetime. Can you delve a bit more into the benefits of the DAF Premium Select range, especially for customers who are looking for high quality used trucks?
The DAF Premium Select is a brainchild of Babcock Transport Solution. It belongs to a group of companies. Babcock has got 6 to 7 different companies. Transport Solution is one of them, which is a custodian of DAF trucks, which are licensed here in South Africa under the Babcock banner. And from that, there's an extension of DAF Pre-Owned, which is the mother body for DAF Premium Select. Under the DAF Pre-Owned, we have 2 categories. We have budget vehicles and we have Premium Select vehicles. The whole idea of bringing Premium Select on board under the DAF Pre-Owned is to mainly support our new sales division, where vehicles are sold in the market on the new first economic life. When they come back on the second economic life under the buyback, trade-in program that Babcock Transport Solution is running, and then they have a home under DAF Pre-Owned. And under that home, then we categorize them based on the age, mileage, and also the quality of the vehicle. Premium Select is actually a premium brand of a DAF Pre-Owned, where you can get a premium quality used vehicle for the second economic life, mainly targeting the small and upcoming enterprise businesses in the transport space. That's what it means in a nutshell.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Given that DAF Trucks, I've already mentioned the reliability of the trucks, why introduce DAF Premium Select and also just what it means to have that label of a DAF Premium Select? Why introduce it in the market when the truck's already so reliable?
Mongezi, if you look at the market as a whole, there are 2 layers of the economy, especially in the transport space. You have the high layer and then you have the low layer, which is basically the entry level. So DAF Premium Select will be a vehicle that will cater mainly for new players in the market that are still starting up. Some of them won't really qualify to own a new vehicle based on their financial background, or maybe the contract that they've been awarded only requires them to own used vehicles. So the reason why we've introduced the DAF Premium Select is also partly to give peace of mind in the market, especially for the startup guys, to say you can own a used vehicle that's of equal quality next to a new one. For you to start up the business and also grow into that business space and be a major player in that space. So DAF Premium Select becomes sort of a springboard to get the guys, or let's say to get their foot into the door, into the transport space. Yes, and also for them to build a reputation for themselves and a good background for them to be financially stable to afford a new vehicle. And it also speaks to the economic landscape. We know what has been happening with COVID. There's been a great demand globally for quality used vehicles. So DAF Premium Select plays into that space. And it's also at the backbone of that, it's also supporting the new DAF used vehicles, DAF vehicles that are being sold into the market. So that at a certain stage, especially the blue chip customers, they don't really run their vehicles for the full term of its life. They run it for a certain period of time and then they bring it back onto our buyback project. So as it comes back on our buyback project, it becomes a DAF Premium Select, and then it goes into the second-hand market, and then it gets sold to the startup guys and the new players in the market. So DAF Premium Select is actually targeting those spaces and those pockets of our economy.
So there are 2 things there that I'm getting. The first is that it's a springboard for startups, for businesses that are starting out in the market, for new players who can't afford brand new trucks but want to get into the industry because they've got a contract or because they've got some form of tender. That's the one
Yes.
side of it. The other side of it is that because you sold the brand new truck to an owner, when it comes back, you kind of know the history of this truck, and you have the service record of how this particular vehicle has performed over time. And when you sell it back as a premium select model, you then have the full history.
Yeah, we do, and we can also guarantee the quality of that vehicle because we know how it's been looked after from the time it was sold new to the time it comes back to us for its second economic life. So we can guarantee the quality of that vehicle. Hence, we are called DAF Pre-owned, and then we have a range called Premium Select, which means it's a premium used vehicle, which is close to new, but it's a second-hand vehicle.
Tell me a little bit more about the quality, because yes, a premium used vehicle, and we've all spoken about used vehicles quite a lot in sort of past conversations, and the horror stories and all sorts of stories that you hear. Can you tell us a bit more about the quality of these premium used vehicles and what it means in terms of performance and in terms of what the vehicle offers?
Yeah. The quality of these vehicles, I would say it's next to none, especially in the market. We are setting a whole new benchmark for used vehicles, where our vehicles go through a rigorous check, 101 bumper to bumper check by our qualified technicians that are employed at all our Babcock workshop sites. These vehicles, when they return, we make sure that they are in excellent quality, which is next to new. They go through the vigorous check mechanically, cosmetically, and we check the whole driveline to make sure that everything that is on that vehicle is still the original parts that are still on the vehicle, and we guarantee the quality is still in a perfect quality, and it meets our standards at Babcock Transport Solutions. So with saying that, we make sure that even the vehicle, when it leaves our workshop, we sort of attach some form of warranty to give the customer peace of mind, to say, you know what, this is our workmanship warranty. We guarantee this vehicle for the next 6 months, unlimited kilometers, that it will be able to live up to its promises that we've sort of promised to you, so that at least the customer can have some sort of peace of mind, not to worry about mechanical backgrounds and issues that are related to breakdowns. So we do attach some seal of quality on it by giving it a 6-month warranty.
That's a great offer when you think about the fact that when you have a project, you almost want to hit the ground running.
Yes.
When you get a vehicle. You mentioned this trade-in and buyback process. Can you explain what you mean by that, and also delve a little bit more into how the upgrades work within that model as well?
Okay. The trade and buyback is more focused on the new vehicle, not on the used pre-owned vehicle, which is a premium select. And how the program really works, it's more about the ring fencing and also to increase the market share. Because as you know, in our business, especially in the transport space and transport economics, the measure of footprint and also market share is only measured on the sale of the new vehicle. So by having a vehicle coming back to you as the custodian of that vehicle or as a parent of that vehicle, it sort of ring fences the client to guarantee that we give you a future value for this vehicle in 3 years' time, in 4 years' time. You can bring it to us and trade it in for a newer one, making sure that there's continuity in our new sales business. They have continuity in terms of their business for them to grow the footprint of the brand DAF, and also for us to increase our market share. But be that as it may, it's a two-sided coin. When that vehicle comes back, it comes back as a pre-owned vehicle. It comes back to another custodian of the vehicle. So it means that we're protecting the vehicle's premium price and the brand. At the same time, we're hitting two birds with one stone. So when it comes back as a pre-owned vehicle, it comes back onto becoming a premium select vehicle, which gets sold to the second-hand market under the premium select banner, and it caters for the up-and-coming players in the business. So it's a double-edged sword if you look at it that way.
You also mentioned the second economic line owners at the beginning of this conversation, and how that gives peace of mind within the DAF Premium Select space. Can you delve a bit more into what you mean by that? What is that second economic line?
The second economic line speaks directly to programs and projects that you would find within communities with the SME development programs that the government is running at moments where communities need to be beneficiaries, especially in this mining space where there's a mining project. There has to be a line where communities are benefiting. 30% is set as a benchmark. Where a mine is mining in a certain area, they have to benefit the communities, and sub 30% of the work needs to be given as part of beneficiation to the communities. So most communities really are people that are coming from impoverished backgrounds, and they don't really have the business background. So we become sort of a university or a school for those communities and those people that really do have contracts and not really the economic means to buy a new truck. And then we form sort of a relationship with them. And then some mining companies even buy used vehicles for these communities to give them a startup. And then we become sort of incubators in terms of introducing them to the trucking world and into the trucking business. So the economic life, the second economic life really looks at that project and looks at those opportunities. And also in most companies these days, as part of beneficiation with big companies, they've got programs where they give small businesses opportunities, but they give them subcontracts, not direct contracts. Yes, which is subcontracted work. So most of these vehicles will go into that subcontracted work by virtue of affordability and making sure that the guys, they start with the right priced vehicle to meet the requirements for the contract, because a new one might be out of their budget. So our budget range comes into that space where then it will meet their budget and it will be the right vehicle for the right job. So the second economic life comes into play when it comes to that.
You've mentioned startups when we first started talking, and now just to go back to that, new customers as well as the startups that you spoke about often face this dilemma of either buying a brand new vehicle or a used truck.
Yeah.
What are some of the advantages of opting for a DAF Premium Select truck in terms of the value and benefits? You've already mentioned that, of course, it goes through a rigorous vetting process. You know the history of, oftentimes you know the history, and you guarantee the workmanship or offer warranties for the first 6 months. Are there other benefits that come to mind for someone who's looking for either a new or used truck?
I always say, Mongezi, we are not in competition with the new truck sales team. We're actually wanting, but it depends on the requirements of the client. Some of the contracts don't really require a new vehicle because they are short-term contracts, which is 12 months, some are 24 months, and the term to pay off a new vehicle starts from 36 months up to 48 months. So it might not be viable for you to buy a new vehicle because the term of the contract doesn't really warrant that you buy a new vehicle. So that's where we come into play. I always say to my team, we're not really in competition, but we are complementing each other. The used vehicle market is to cater for more the low-hanging fruit,
Yes.
where the new vehicle will really focus on the high-hanging fruit, but without compromising the quality of the vehicle. We have to make sure that we give that next to new experience, that even if you're in a used vehicle, the experience must be the same. The experience, the service needs to be the same, because at the end of the day, we need uniformity within our ranks. So it's very important that we keep the service standard, the quality of the vehicle next to this, if not similar, but more or less the same, to keep the uniformity the same. And the benefits of buying a used premium vehicle, it's about building long-term relationship, making sure that even that vehicle, when it goes into the second-hand market, it also gets the same attention that a new vehicle will get in terms of service, in terms of parts supply. So it also gives, the value chain is long. It also gives, for Babcock, is also a benefit, and also for the client, because now you have this long-standing relationship with the OEM, because you get quality parts, you get quality service. So it's very important that they buy it directly with us, because if you can get it anywhere else, you won't get the same service, you won't get the same quality. So the benefits are there is that you get the same service that you will give to a new vehicle, you get the same quality that you will give to the new, and the same expertise, Moses, if I were to expand on that, because you still have access to our workshops and our dealer network. So it's very important that customers understand it's not only getting a quality used vehicle, but it's also building a
Yes.
relationship and the support that comes with it. So we've got an after sales 24 after sales service that assists customers with breakdowns. We've got a dealer network that assists customers with breakdowns during working hours and even after working hours. So the benefits are huge.
So you pretty much get all the benefits of a brand new truck owner, but
Yes,
all the affordability of a second-hand truck, if you will,
exactly that.
which also allows you to chase or build on some of the contracts that you then get, which don't
Yes.
require you to have a brand new truck.
Exactly. And also, it also gives you some sort of experience in order to understand the business more and the market more, gradually growing. Most of the guys that will start with a used vehicle, they gradually grow to owning a new vehicle in that space, which actually make us proud because their success ultimately becomes our success. Because when you see them succeeding in business, that means we are also going to grow as a brand and we're going to grow our market share and also our footprint. So as much as we are a springboard, we also sort of incubator, if you may put it that way, to incubate the small businesses, to give them opportunities. Because also it's very important that we understand that some of these businesses have never really been in the transport space. So for them to start at elementary level, which is the beginner's level, and gradually grow into the business and understand it and understand the dynamics of the business, the pre-owned division then becomes that custodian of those such customers, and we have to look after them in that way.
That's amazing because it provides that springboard that we spoke about, but beyond providing that springboard, it enables the business to almost be incubated as it grows, so that as it builds its reputation and builds the work that they're working on right now, they're able to improve on that and get better contracts and deals as they develop.
To further elaborate on that, the support that we give to these customers, it also helps us to grow with them, and it also spreads the word of mouth marketing. If you understand that, DAF doesn't only give you a truck, but they hold your hand throughout the process. And that's why I'm saying our pre-owned division is a standalone business, but still it operates within because if you look at the used market, there's a lot of used market traders around the world, even around the country, auction houses, private dealers. But our service is so customized that it caters to the customer needs, and it also personalizes the relationship, and it makes it easier for the customer to say, you know what, if I have an issue, I can go and knock at the door of Premium Select and Pre-Owned DAF and say, guys, I've got an issue here. How can you assist me moving forward? Because you're going to have those teething issues, especially when you're starting a new business. So we try as much as possible to make that process painless as possible.
And I think the key word there is this partnership, right? That you partner
Partnership.
with them and
Yes.
you grow with them as they grow. You are invested in their growth as part of as a partner in their business. The finance solutions offered by Babcock are also a huge bonus here. How do these solutions make the purchasing process easier for the customer?
I think that's what also stands out for us, and which is quite exciting because we've got our own in-house finance that caters for also second-hand vehicles, not only on new. And with that in-house finance, we have 14 different credit lines that we can tap into. Some are private funders, some are actually commercial banks. And with that, it gives us a huge nest because we cast our net wide to make sure that we catch the best fish for the client to say, you know what, this is the finance solution that we have for you. And the options are wide and vast for customers to choose from. So our tailor-made finance solutions actually make it quite easy so we become sort of a one-stop shop for customers. They come to us, they get good service contracts, they also get good warranty, they got good workshop quality, and they get a quality used vehicle. On top of that, they get quality finance, which is backed up by about 14 funders. The customers can choose from a wide range of commercial banks and private funders, depending on the interest rate that they can be able to meet on their monthly installments. And these private funders allow up to 5 years vehicles which are not older than 700,000 kilometers. They can still finance them, which means it's a bonus for us and also it's a benefit for the client. It's a win-win situation.
And I think that is one of those things that as a startup or as a small business or a new person in the industry is really important because funding and financing can be huge hurdles if you're trying to build a business and you've just got a contract and you don't know where to turn. And I think that's a huge bonus. Have you got some success stories that you can think back to of some of the clients that you've worked with and how they've grown over time?
Yeah, there's quite a few that have grown over the years, and some exciting times that we've seen where clients come to us with little or barely no knowledge of the business. Some have grown to owning about 7 to 10 trucks used, and some have even told me directly to say, you know what, for them it makes sense to run a used vehicle. It's cheaper
Hmm.
to run a used vehicle for them with the kind of work they are doing. I've got a few clients like SSM Logistics. We've got clients like Rangi Logistics, which both run on their on the new truck site, and they also have a used truck. They buy also used trucks, and also for certain routes they will use used trucks. On certain routes they will use new trucks. So they try and strike the balance between the two, and it has definitely worked for them, and it's making business sense. And in terms of revenue side, there's not a lot of high total cost of ownership. By total cost of ownership, I mean insurance costs and high installments and high maintenance costs. They are actually lower, driven by the fact that they finance the vehicles on their second-hand economic life, and the price is at least reasonably so. They are reasonably priced. So we've got huge success stories that come with these used vehicles that we've sold into the market.
And I think that's an interesting way of bringing it back because there's the brand new truck side, and of course there's the DAF Premium Select truck side as well, where with a single client, as you've just mentioned, at times you've got a brand new truck, but for some projects you want a pre-owned vehicle because that makes sense. And as your brand new truck also, as your brand new truck is used and is driven, you are then able to bring it back through the buyback model. Is that,
Yes.
and I think that kind of makes it a balance between, we've spoken about the startups, for instance, getting into the market, and now there's the advanced business, such as the logistics companies that you've just mentioned.
Yeah, it cuts both ways. Even big companies buy used vehicles because of it makes sense for certain routes for them to run it, and also to on a revenue point of view. Some they run secondary contracts where they would run a contract not entirely interested in the revenue, but to keep the relationship with the current customer going. So for them to buy a used vehicle, they will just break even. They won't really be making
Yes.
much on the contract, but just to break
Hmm.
even and keep the relationship going. So having a used vehicle division reputable as Premium Select, it also helps us to ring fence our customers and to make sure that we protect the brand and we protect the relationship that we have with them. And also it makes us at least reach out to our customers. If we can meet you on the new side, we can also assist you on the used side. So both ways we can assist you. So we become sort of two-dimensional when they look at us to say, you know what, I can look at a new DEF. I know Premium Select or DEF Pre-owned will be able to take my vehicle after 3 years. I can even get a Premium Select vehicle or a DAF Pre-owned vehicle, good quality from them. What's the point of me looking and wandering around? I can also get a tailored finance solution. I can get a good service network when I deal with them. I know the support. So most of the headaches are eliminated from the customer's point of view, and then you become sort of a home that is got all the solutions basically for the customer, and you
Yes.
take all the headaches away.
Now, we've spoken about a lot and very many benefits as a result as well. For somebody who's still on the fence and contemplating whether to get into the world of DAF trucks, can you share your 3 reasons why they should, especially considering the investment that goes into it?
Moses, the DAF trucks, sorry, Monges, the DAF trucks, they sell themselves. The quality of the truck is next to none. The reliability of the vehicle It's a very reliable vehicle. The fuel consumption of the vehicle, which is the most key important thing when the customers look at buying the vehicle, and driver comfort, because the drivers, they spend half of their lives in the vehicles. Spend 8 to 10 hours driving a truck. It's very important that to counter driver fatigue, that they are comfortable in the vehicle. So I would say on the top three: reliability, efficiency, fuel consumption, and also driver comfort, to add one more. Those will be the top four for me if I were somebody looking out to buy a reliable used vehicle to look at. And also, when I mean quality, I mean these vehicles, they go through a vigorous check, 101 check, to see if they're in a good health condition and they're good mechanical condition. And secondly, these vehicles come with a 6 months driveline warranty. Who's going to give you 6 months on a second-hand vehicle? The National Consumer Protection Act only allows 3 months. We've said, you know what, we're going to go against the grain. We're going to take it to 6 months to prove that we trust the brand, we trust the quality, and we stand with our brand. And we are putting our mouth where our money is, and to show the clients that we stand by the brand and we are here to support them. So I would say to them, look at the DAF Premium Select. It's next to none. The quality is there. It's proven to be a reliable vehicle, efficient vehicle. It costs less on fuel. It's a cheaper vehicle to run. Why not look at the DAF Pre-Owned Premium Select, even a new one, if you can afford it?
Thank you so much, Elliot. I think out of that, I mean, there's a lot in that people can definitely consider. Unparalleled support, that partnership that you mentioned, as well as the reliability that comes with not just a DAF Select truck, but the reliability that comes with the support and of course working with Babcock even after you've bought your truck. Thank you very much for making time.